Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Pillowtalk podcast. And unlike this, unlike all the other week, this week we have something different for you because we're not going to talk about something which has impacted us in a negative way, and secondly, we just didn't feel like addressing another negative aspect of our society. So this week we have something slightly different than the rest of the week, slightly jovial, slightly on the happier side of things. And so, as a lot of you may or may not know, uh, I have my exams coming up in about 20 days, which obviously means that I'm going to start playing more PUBG because पढ़ाई तो वैसे भी नहीं हो रही है. Anyway, so while we were playing PUBG, we were having our conversations that we have on PUBG, and one of the conversations was uh, who's the greatest of all times in terms of like a vast variety of fields. And the one that we actually thought that we could talk about for a very long time was about TV shows, sitcoms, drama series, and stuff like that. And so we decided to make a podcast out of it because it's such a long drawn out conversation that we both agree slash disagree on a lot of things. So this week we're going to discuss about our favorite shows, stuff that we hate about other shows, stuff that we hate about our shows, and how we could have made them different and stuff like that. Because again, opinions matter. And so yeah, this week we have sitcoms for you.
And just to lay down the foundation for the discussion that we were having on PUBG. So like Manan said, it was about a vast variety of topics. One of those topics was basketball, and I think the world just needs to know that the goat of basketball, the goat of NBA is Steph Curry, and I don't care if that one listener doesn't agree with this, or if all of you don't agree with it. This
Nobody
is the truth.
agrees. Nobody agrees. Yeah, nobody
That's
agrees.
fine, man. You know it's true. And moving on to sitcoms, I don't think Manan is the right person to have a discussion about sitcoms with because the guy has some major commitment issues in life. Okay, so I mean, this doesn't just concern sitcoms. This concerns a lot of things in his life, but it's affected how he watches sitcoms as well. And he's started a lot of shows, but he hasn't finished any of them.
Because a lot of them are
So
shit.
yeah, I mean, I agree with all the issues that his ex girlfriends must have confronted him with because
Yeah, my
yes, this is
100
the
ex-girlfriends.
yes, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. So before we start, I just want Manan to list down the sitcoms that he started watching but then left them because they were apparently too boring for him.
Okay, no, I genuinely made a list of all the sitcoms that I stopped watching. Here it goes. Big Bang Theory. Starting with a banger. Rick and Morty. then we have Seinfeld. Then we have How I Met Your Mother. Then we have the 70s show. And then the worst sitcom recommendation that Jay has ever given me is Two Broke Girls. If anybody's listening to me, don't watch that show. It's the stupidest show on earth. He told me to watch the first season, and I said, okay, I'll watch the first season. Midway through the first season, I said, fuck you, Jay Malhotra. I'm never watching this show again. It's the stupidest show on earth. So yeah, but yeah, Jay's right. I have a lot of and Two and a Half Men also. But I don't like Two and a Half Men at all. So go for it. Grill me if you want to. But anyway, so no. So let's come straight to the point. Jay, what is the greatest sitcom of all time?
I think that's a very very difficult question to answer because I can't believe that it's just me who gets attached to all the characters after you watch around 40 episodes a day. So most of the time what happens is that the most recent sitcom that I've seen becomes my favorite. But I again, like, I think there is a very clear answer to this discussion, just like
There's
there is a
only
clear answer to the
one
basketball
correct
discussion.
answer, Jay Malhotra.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of you will say Friends or some bullshit like
Boo.
that, but that's not true. The best sitcom of all time has to be The Office. Like, no other show holds a candle to The Office. And I don't care if you agree, if you disagree. If you disagree, then you're wrong. If you agree, then you're in good company. But The Office
So,
is the best show of
hands
all time.
down, it is the best possible creation that has ever come out of Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hands down, the funniest, the most intriguing, the most time pass shit that you'll ever watch. And the thing with The Office is that you can, like, I've watched Office, like I'm on my third run now, and I think you've done a similar number of runs, and it's been a year.
I watched it a total of, yeah, and I remember. So when Manan saw it for the first time, I hated The Office because I had seen a few clips. I'd seen one episode from the first season, and at that time, I used to judge him so much for commenting on all these Office memes and sending us stuff that we didn't understand, because I just thought that this is a very very
That's the
crappy
problem of
show.
culture, Jay.
But
You were
then
uncultured, and I made you cultured.
and then I just started watching it, and so see, the first season is very hard to get through. Okay, like, I didn't like that one bit, and I think that's also because of Michael's bald spot throughout the first season. But as soon as the second season begins, like, I don't remember a single episode where I haven't felt the urge to just open up Snapchat and
Exactly.
send a certain snap to everyone. Like, I don't care if I'm spoiling the show for them, if they've seen it or not. Everyone needs to see that snap, and that just happens to me with every
And
single episode.
and if you haven't watched The Office, you're uncultured as hell. Please, please go educate yourself. Please become a better version of yourself, because you will not be accepted in a society where you haven't watched The Office. Also, now that we're talking of,
And you will not be accepted in the community of our 50,000
yeah,
listeners, who have to be
yeah.
people who
If
like
if
The
you if you
Office.
haven't watched Office, please shut down this podcast, watch The Office first, and then come back.
And then come back.
Anyway, talking about The Office, I think we also have a consensus over who's the greatest character of all time.
I think so. People will debate about, oh, Michael is the greatest character. Without Michael, there's no show. But that's actually not true at all. So the greatest character of all time has to be Dwight Schrute. Like, there cannot be any debate here. The guy has been splendid, like, from the first minute of the show to the last minute. And if anyone says that, oh, I don't like Dwight so much, then it again comes back to the problem of you not being cultured enough.
Lack
And
of culture.
yeah, and we'll stress it time and again during this podcast that if you disagree with what we say, then it's because you're not cultured enough and you need to do something about it.
Yeah,
But so, I mean, we talked about, the greatest character. If Manan, you have to list down, top three. And this is where I think
oof.
Manan and I will have a major disagreement. That
No, bro.
who
I
would
think
your
one and
top
two,
three would be?
one and two, we're we're there. One and two is Dwight and Michael,
Yeah, okay.
and number three is hands down the most underrated character of all time, Andrew Bernard.
My heart aches when you say this. Andy is, oh, he's one of the worst characters in the show. Like,
Bro,
I
I'll
hate
tell you
him.
why. I'm on
Yeah,
season
tell
eight right
me.
now. I'm on season eight right now, and
You can't
we
like him
all
in season 8.
we
He
all know what
sucks in
happens.
that
And
season.
bro, he is so funny, bro. He is so funny. He gets a tattoo on his bum. Bro, the thing is, his acting, Ed Helms' acting is so good, because he can literally pull off any emotion that he wants, and he's shown to be very uncomfortable in front of Robert California. He's extremely different in front of Erin. He's like a bro with Daryl, and stuff like that. But that's why I'm saying he's such a mix of emotions that he has to be the third best character on the show. What about you?
I
Don't say
think I
Jim,
would.
bro.
No, no, it's
I know
not
what. Are
Jim.
you going to say Kevin?
No, no, no. I don't think you can actually guess who my third favorite character is.
Go for it.
But yeah, so for me, the third most hilarious character is Gabe Lewis. Like the guy is absolutely he's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Shut up
And
about the sun.
uh, I think both of us need to apologize for the unnecessary laughter because I know that this is happening with me. Whenever Manan is talking about a particular scene, it's playing in my head and I can't help but laugh. So the first thing that comes to my mind when we talk about Gabe is when they had that meme making competition. So it says that you can't make jokes about the company.
Yeah.
And,
And they start
oh,
making jokes on Gabe. And I remember this one joke very vividly where it's where I think it's Phyllis or someone who makes the caption something along the lines of look, is that a palm tree or is it Gabe? Irrespective, we can pee on it. Or some shit like that. Bro, but honestly, who do you think is the most underrated character?
most underrated character.
Yeah,
I think the most underrated character for me is Daryl. Like
I
I think
think
the guy is very funny, but he is not given credit enough for
I
that.
I think he's funny, but okay, like we'll um, we'll talk about Daryl in a while. But what do you think about Angela? I think Angela is again a very underrated character on the show.
If I'm being very honest, I don't like Angela that much. I mean,
Oh, I
she's funny, but
love Angela,
but I
bro.
but I don't
She's
like
a
her
typical,
character.
bro. She's a typical office bitch you will find in every office, bro. Like, be it male or female, there's someone like Angela in the office who'll
I
just be
think
mean, who'll just
what
be mean to you.
what turned me off from Angela is so. I mean, that I have zero tolerance for infidelity, and
Yeah.
when Dwight and even
Bro,
Andy,
one
when I used to
second.
like him.
One second. One second. The Dwight versus Andy sequence is the best sequence ever. When Andy starts running over Dwight with his car, I think that's one of the most underrated. That's the problem with the show. That there are so many moments in the show that you can't pinpoint what's the best moment.
Yeah, you can't. You just cannot just, pick up one instance. Like I'll tell you, this is just a 5 second scene, okay, that cracks me up every time I think about it. So I think this is the episode where Dwight and Jim were planning Kelly's birthday and
Yeah.
they were walking in the parking lot and Dwight asked Jim, "Hey, how's your daughter? What's her name? PP."
PP? Yeah.
And Jim says, "Pipa." I lost it at that point. Like I couldn't stop laughing.
No, bro. I think this is very late on. I think this season 7 or something because I just watched it a couple of days back. So I think this is one of the episodes. Yeah, yeah. This is one of the episodes where they're trying to take down that guy. What's his name? The guy who's the salesman. Uh, who's a
Danny
traveling? No, no,
Cordray.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
Who's a traveling
uh,
salesman? The
oh
creep.
shit! How can I forget his name? Oh shit! Todd Parker. Todd Parker. No,
Todd Packer.
Packer.
Todd
Todd
Packer.
Packer.
Todd
Packer.
Packer.
Yeah.
Todd Packer. Yeah, and they're planning to take him down. So this is how Dwight starts his conversation with Jim. And okay, coming back to Daryl, I think Daryl, as good as he is in this show, I think there's another show that he's done a much better job at,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's
Definitely.
Brooklyn
Definitely.
Nine-Nine. And I think that's again like top five sitcoms for me in terms of how many ever I've watched.
Then out of the five that you've completed, if it's top five,
Yeah,
then I
top
think
five.
that's a major deal.
Yeah,
But so Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I love the show. I've seen it, so many times. But one show that while watching, I know that I'm not supposed to like it, but I can't stop watching is obviously Two Broke Girls. But the other show is How I Met Your Mother. Okay, so that show is incredibly slow, and
Yeah, bro, that's why I
it's
stopped
just
watching it after like episode 13 or something.
yeah, it's slow, and the I don't think I've ever been very comfortable with using words like awesome and legendary in casual conversations, and that happens a lot there.
It's so boring because I'll tell you what. One, the show is damn slow. Two, in the 13 episodes that I've watched, what's that guy's name?
Ted, Barney, Marshall.
Ted.
Yeah,
Ted
yeah.
makes zero progress. Ted makes zero progress in 13 episodes.
Just a disclaimer, if you ever want to try watching it, Ted makes zero progress throughout the 9 seasons.
And the thing
Like
is,
the
and I
guy has
stopped watching it because I also knew how it ended. So, I mean,
uh,
plus I've heard that
see,
the finale sucks and stuff. So, yeah.
I think after Game of Thrones, How I Met Your Mother has the worst possible ending because I don't want to see Robin and Ted end up together. Robin is meant to be with Barney, and that's how the show should have ended. And I think, just that last scene, it ruined the entire series for me, but I still love it. So if anyone wants to, watch a sappy rom com type sitcom, then How I Met Your
Honestly,
Mother
yeah,
is
couldn't
the
care
way
less.
to go.
If you think How I Met Your Mother is funnier than Office, fuck you.
No, no, not funnier
but,
than The Office.
but no, I genuinely want to talk about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And one thing that I genuinely appreciate about the show is how they've like tackled so many social issues in one show, and like while keeping it hilarious at the same time, they've tackled so many social issues like racial profiling, homophobia, and stuff like that. And I think it's great. The show is a very feel good show. I've told you this before. Like it's a very feel good show. Like you just don't feel like doing anything. You look at it, you smile, and you're in a good mood after that. But I think Jake after season 2 or 3 becomes annoying as hell.
I don't think that's Jake that's become annoying. I think that's just Andy Samberg who we've gotten annoyed of.
Yeah.
And so, like you mentioned, there are so many issues that they have tackled. Another very important social issue that they have tackled is ageism. I don't think I've ever met a couple of, 60, 70-year-olds who are funnier than Hitchcock and Scully.
Oh, that's
And if
true.
someone tells me that, I don't like those characters, then again, this comes back to the problem of you not being cultured enough. You need to like those two characters. They are, in Barney's words, they are legendary. Like, you can't do
Shut up.
anything about it.
Are you actually going to use those words again?
Yes, I will make it a point to use those
No,
words
no, but
now.
no. 1 second. Talking about characters that suck. Let's talk about Pam Halpert. After season 8, I think single-handedly the worst character on the show. Like they did her so bad in terms of the storyline and stuff that I don't think a character could have her character could have gone any lower than what it actually was.
Yeah, and so you're saying after season 8, bro, I started hating her the time that she kissed Jim when she was with Roy. Like,
That's like
I'm telling you
season
this.
3 or 4. That's season
Yeah,
3.
so I have a very serious issue with infidelity, okay, regardless of whether or not it's happening in these shows. I don't like Angela because of that. I've hated Pam. I mean, I got other reasons to hate Pam later, but this is where it all started.
Bro, she
And just
becomes toxic towards Jim towards the end, bro. Like she doesn't want him to go to Philly and pursue his dream and stuff, and that really got on my nerves. I'm like, bro, what the heck?
yeah, man. I mean, I get that you have to take care of Peepa all by yourself, but
FIFA.
the man's got to do what he's got to do. You can't just cry and tell him that, oh, I appreciate you making this sacrifice for me. Oh, this reminds me, this is another underrated scene when Dwight Jr., when both of them, Jim and Pam have just got to therapy and
Yeah,
they're sitting and they're talking to each other in the weird, language that they've been told to.
yeah.
And then Dwight Jr. says, I would appreciate if you let me take one hit of your blunt or something like that. I lost it in that scene also. You know,
I generally
everything
don't have a memory of this.
you'll get to this point and you'll end up laughing so much because you're just heading on to that point.
Bro, but like I think, uh, irrespective of Pam being a bad character in season 8 and 9, but I think The Office has one of the best endings ever. Like, I won't change a thing about it. Like, I won't change a thing.
I would change one thing, which is that I would want to see Michael's wedding also. Like, I
Oh,
can't
yeah, and
imagine.
we didn't see Holly at the end, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we did. We didn't see Michael's kids. I think that is what I genuinely wanted in the ending, but that's all. Like, apart from
Yeah.
that, it was perfect.
But okay. Let's end this debate. Now, top three sitcoms ever.
Okay, so it has to be The Office. Second, it is, for me, it's New Girl.
Yeah.
And third is, oh shit, this is hard. I want to say Friends, but I don't want to say Friends, and I won't. For me, the third best show is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just love that show too much. What are your top three?
I've watched three, Jay. But no, honestly, Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Friends.
I mean, that's
But
you're
I
a
don't think
basic bitch,
anything.
man.
Yeah, that. But I don't think anything comes close, bro. Like, no way.
Yeah, no doubt. That's true. And I mean, if you guys felt that, we've spoken too much about The Office, then just let us know. We'll make more episodes about every other show on the list because, again, like Manan has his exams coming up, my exams have ended, so both of us have a lot of free time on our hands.
Yeah.
And if we haven't seen them, we'll see them. But in all probability, it's just Manan who hasn't seen them, so he'll have to put in the time.
No, but
And
generally, like, if you want us to talk about, like, we watched a lot of shows. Okay, don't make me sound like a real bitch there. But no, if you want to hear us talk about even Friends or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or stuff like that, or some crime thrillers or drama series and stuff, then we can talk about that as well.
yeah, and just let us know. Also, we want to know who your top three characters are, who's your worst character on the show, and underrated moments. Because just like Madan and I have pointed out so many to each other, I'm sure there are many, many more that
And I think we're
again,
forgetting like 99% of them
oh,
also.
without a doubt. And I think that's just natural. So just let us know what you think about The Office, the other shows that we talked about. Also, if you like Two Broke Girls, then send a DM to Manan. Tell him that that he also lacks certain culture.
No.
And just tell us who your favorite characters are, what your favorite shows are, and we'll be back with more episodes for you next week. Till then, stay tuned. Just catch up on all our previous episodes. And that's all. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.